Hey, what's up, card fighters? So we're back here again with another commentated match video. This will most likely come out on Valentine's Day, which is the LUQUIER match versus KHEIOS. So happy Valentine's Day for you and all your families. You are loved. Just wanted to put that out there, that positive energy. But this is actually like a very interesting game because both these decks are relatively trying to achieve the same thing where like I feel like Luquier is. I wouldn't say Luquier is more consistent, but I feel like Luquier is slightly more mid-ranged than Chaos. But they're both like at least like very like aggressive slash combo strategies. To whereas like when they ride up, like they're just trying to like bash your face in. But we're gonna head and hit the die roll off here. I do believe we roll the same number. We have to roll again, if I'm not mistaken. I got a 9. And he got, oh, never mind. He got an 8. Never mind. Okay. So I do get to go first here in the first match. I do believe, yeah. Quenlu was just like more often than not discard fodder just because I was trying to keep shield slash combo in hand. And like Quenlu was like my last priority. Like if I had it, I had it. If I didn't have it, like, my last thing on the bucket list, if I so say. I no guard this. He does crit me. I do believe I should have guarded that attack. I was thinking about it earlier, and I'm pitching the card I probably should have guarded with. I got 2 names again, which is like very rare. Most of the time you only get one, but I got 2 names again, which is like just very satisfactory. We're gonna call a swirler here. We soul charge another swirler. I'm thinking about calling another card here to attack, but because we didn't draw into a trigger and we didn't soul charge a trigger, I'm just banking for a trigger off of this, and we didn't. But we do get the set order, which I believe I didn't have a copy in hand, which is very clutch. Not the set order, the normal order. So we go ahead and pass it back to the LUQUIER player. He's just debating on what to pitch here. He rides Rising Dragon. Now he was running Rising Dragon in his ride line versus the grade two the grade two doll because at the time he ordered 2 Rising Dragons, but they haven't come in the mail yet, so he only had 2. So for the time being, he was running Rising Dragon in the ride deck just to guarantee it, because it is the deck's most heavy hitter, which is honestly not it's not a bad thing at all, to be honest. Like literally at this moment, another player at the locals that we attend, shout outs to House Rules Gaming, is he was trying to explain to me like, do you want to know why they play Rising Dragon in the ride deck? And I kind of told him like, I can understand, like I can understand why. It's not really something that like really needed to be explained to me, but like I knew for this scenario, I knew why he did it. He go ahead and swings for 10. I guard. Go ahead and stand and draw. Drew into a heal. Feels bad. I do believe, yeah, we have to ditch one of the Makanis here because, again, we're at 3 damage. We have to keep some semblance of shield in our hand. Yeah, I just call out the other swirler here, which this is where I was like messing up to whereas I should have called that swirler behind my Vanguard in this scenario, but I chose to call it there, which I do believe kind of like mucks up my board a little bit. So we're gonna have to activate the order here. I'm looking at the different names I have, seeing if it's worth it to like just soul charge triggers. But I think in this point of the game, I decided to just take those and call it a day. Even though one of them is already a name I have in Soul. And this is where I was talking, like where it kind of like this kind of mucks up my board here because I call it there, but I do believe I end up just calling a Makani over that card. which I give 10k to him. Then I activate my Vanguard's ability. I get a Makani off the top. Put the 0 to soul, and then we're going to call the Makani. So we're going to swing for 13 at the Vanguard. Then we're going to swing for 31 at the Vanguard. Are we not going to... Oh, okay, so I was debating on whether or not, which I do in the end, I swing off the rear guard first, which this is 23-33, because he was at low damage, I figured like he's gonna just take the Vanguard swing, so I just wanted to give him an additional point of damage before he took the Vanguard swing, which I do believe he just ends up no guarding the Vanguard as well. So first I get a critical, I'll give the power to Makani, and I do get Persona Ride. So this column is 21, 41, 56. Which I believe he takes it and heals. No, he doesn't heal, so he goes to 5. Then Makani goes to Soul at the end of the turn, and we pass the turn up. So we have like 2 15s, a PG, Persona Ride in hand. So I think I was feeling very comfortable about surviving his first turn. And we do have the 10k Interceptor, so I wasn't feeling too like broken up on how I'm gonna survive his first turn. He calls out a Rising Dragon, a Breathing Dragon, and the Grade 1 from Soul. They all get 5. And then the Rising Dragons get 10 because 2 or more were called. And then he's going to use Breathing Dragon's effect. He's going to Soul Blast 1, and all his front row rear guards are going to get 5k. That's a static ability for the turn. So when he Superior calls another rear guard, that rear guard will also get the 5k. So he targets... Which Rising Dragon is he targeting? He's targeting... Okay, we're just going over how Rising Dragons are going to get the additional power. I do believe he targets the bigger one, if I'm not mistaken. No, he targets that one. So that's the Rising Dragon that's going to go into Soul when the Vanguard attacks, and he's going to recall it. Go ahead and push Rising Dragon to Soul, and then recall it, so it's going to get the plus 20, and it's also going to get the plus 5. His Vanguard's just 13, so we give the 2 to pass. He gives all effects to the Rising Dragon, and then he gets a heal, which he heals down to 4. He gives the power to the other Rising Dragon. And he attacks with the crit first, which I elect to take it, just so I can attempt to heal block him next turn, because I know next turn is my kill turn, and I'm not going to survive another turn. But I do get an OT here, and he just elects to swing at rear guard, which I believe I just take it. Yeah. And then he's going to use LUQUIER's effect, put 2 rear guards to Soul to draw a card. So we Persona Ride here. We do have access to both Makanis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't think we have the 13 in Soul, if I believe. So we're going to CB1. We're going to activate KHEIOS' skill again. 3. We're going to add the order to hand. That was a really nice pickup off of KHEIOS' skill. I'm going to put the grade 2 to Soul, and then we're going to call the Makani. I'm just triple counting my cards here. Then we're going to activate the order here. We're going to top 5. And then after this, we should literally have it, because I'm literally counting like how many different names I need. I was just going over him, like how many cards I can add off of this skill, how it's based off the number of KHEIOSes I have in Soul. So we're going to put those 2. Looks like I have 10 different names if I didn't miscount 9 different names. that. We put the crit trigger because I believe I counted that crit trigger was like the last different name I needed. So we're gonna head and call out this Makani. That Makani's gonna get plus 10 off the. No, I'll give that one plus 10 off the order. Yeah, I believe I was just like triple making sure that I had like the 13 different names. I go ahead and swing for 23 here. This is just an easy 15 block. And then I swing for 33 here. He elects to take it. And then I swing for 21, 41, and then my whole field gets the plus 10. I just give it to the front row, make life easier. I get a heal, I don't heal. And then this is 21, 31, 61. Yeah, they're both 61 because I Persona Road. So both columns have a plus 40 on them. And he was talking to me later that like he had a PG for one, but he had like two 15s and a 5, so he was just like 15 short to guard the next one. So go ahead and go into game 2 here, where he elects to go first, which is going to be like, this is going to be really good for him because of while LUQUIER is good at going second because of like the 5k buff she gives to the units she calls, she's also really good at going first because her units naturally get power, just like, you know, the Rising Dragons, especially if he has 2 of them on board. It just can get like very hairy from there. Go ahead and speed this up a little bit. Alright, we decided to put 2 back. We got a Makani and a grade 1 Makani. Looks like we have the order in hand too, so it looks like we have combo, but it doesn't look like we have much in hand in terms of shield value, which is it's a big factor of the early lead he does get in this game. Alright, now it's our go. What do we pitch here? Yeah, we have to. I think we had 2 of them in hand, and like we just had to pitch one because we were going second, and we have to keep some semblance of shield. But we are going to go ahead for the rush here. He gets a defensive, but it still hits. The card we have face down is the card that we're gonna most likely pitch for ride next turn. I usually like to have that like already pre-planned out, so I already know like what cards I can throw away and what cards I have to keep. Calls a doll, swings for 10 at the swirler. I believe I guard it because I wanted to see if he would attack it again. I was trying to bait him to attack it again. And I even told him, like, hey, like, I want to see if you attack it again. But he chooses not to, and he gets a heal trigger, which is very crucial for him at this juncture. Did he not heal? He didn't heal. You're at 2. Why didn't you heal? That was a heal trigger, right? That was a heal. He didn't heal. I don't know why he didn't heal there. I guess maybe he forgot. Did he put the heal trigger he got to drop zone? I'm not sure what happened there, but he just decided not to heal. And I activated the order here, but I didn't have 8 different names, so we're just gonna activate the order and swing. And then we're gonna swing 16 at the Vanguard, which he guards a 15. I was just counting my different names. We actually looked like we were in like the lead, at least in the early stages of the game. Is it? I believe this is the turn that he turns the tides, if I'm not mistaken. Because like there was just like one turn where he just like double triggered and it was too much for me. Alright, he puts a grade 0 to soul, calls out the Rising Dragon, the grade 1 of the ride line, which is gonna elect him. He's gonna give him a soul charge. I don't remember if he elects the soul charge or not because it is optional. He does have the order, which he's also gonna choose to use the order here. Target the Rising Dragon. So the Rising Dragon is gonna be swinging for like 20 by itself here. I believe he boosts on the first attack, if I'm not mistaken. No, he doesn't. So this is just 20, but I do take it. Then he's going to swing for... And then Rising Dragon is going to get the plus 20 here. I do decide to 2 to pass. I believe he gave the... Oh no, he gave all effects to Rising Dragon. And then he gets the heal here. He does heal this time. Which I believe we have to just eat both these attacks. Oh no, I definitely have... No. That would be death, dummy. I have to eat the Rising Dragon. Which puts me to 4 to his 2. Which is like really feels bad in this scenario. Oh, we ditched the 2. So we get a superior call here. Thinking about what's a superior call, I really don't have that many good targets. So I think I just elected not to. I add the PG to my hand and then I get the Makani. Do I just call over? Do I call over or do I try to save it? Yeah, I think I just put him to soul to put him to soul so I don't have to call over. And then I call the Magani. So I swing for 13 here. And then he gets another defensive. I swing for 13 at the rear guard. And I'll vanilla swing 13. Not vanilla swing, but I'll swing 13 at the Vanguard, so it's currently a 1 to pass. Which he was asking about numbers, which I got an OT. So he gave power to his Vanguard, which means this is 100 million. He perfect guards it. And the other line couldn't hit because he was like 33. Which I just outright lose here because my hand is so small. I have no shield. Like that would have been a really good turn if it wasn't for like those key double defensives. Would I have won? I don't believe so, but I think I would have just like at least nah, his hand still looked pretty nice. I don't think I would have won there regardless. He doesn't have the order here, but I am forced to 1 to pass because my hand is so weak, and he does get game 2 here. Yeah, I had a PG in my hand. The PG and the 15 were my really only shield, so I had to bank on the 1 to pass. Unfortunate. Wow, that game was actually like really close. I didn't remember it being that close. All I remember was like the heal and the crit drive check, and then the defensive and the defensive draw trigger damage check, and I was like, oh wow, must be nice. But it just goes to show you, like, in the heat of the moment, like, if your opponent, like, checks, like, a couple triggers into session, it can just, like, blur your vision of, like, what the game actually was or, like, what was actually happening. So, yeah, it's just important to have, like, a cool, calm, collected head when stuff like that happens and just, you know, play it out. I always encourage people to play it out even if it looks like they're gonna lose, because like the way Vanguard is, you don't really know how a game's going to end until like the very end, at least from my experience. So yeah, I encourage people to never give up. He gets a crit here, damage a PG and a Makani. PG goes to Soul. Yeah, I think we were just saving everything else just for turn 3. I called it behind the Vanguard just to guarantee damage. He puts the order into Soul. Very easy add off the ride line. Because it's not guaranteed. You having the order in Soul is not guaranteed. That's why I've seen like the LUQUIER decks playing Falcate, because Falcate's like the easiest way to just guarantee that you have the order card in your Soul every turn. He swings, I elect to take it, I get a defensive draw, and then I draw for turn. I pitched the order because I had another one. I soul charged an order, so I don't get anything off my ride line, but it is a different name. So I soul charge again for the Swirler. Swirler gets +5. We do activate the order here, which we got some pretty good pickups. And then what do I elect to call from Soul? I think the best card to call is the Swirler because it is a double name. But maybe I'm thinking about calling the Grade 2 here. Oh no, I do elect to call the Swirler because it's a double name. So I do Soul Charge, and the other Swirler gets a counter. That Swirler gets a counter. I don't have another Makani, so I try to RNG into one here. I pitch Grade 1 Makani, which is kind of funny, because if I called Grade 1 Makani, I would have gotten the Grade 3 Makani, but I wouldn't have gotten those 2 other normal units from the top of my deck out. So it's kind of funny how like that worked out. Me trying to get me higher chances at getting the Makanis actually just helped me deck thin. So I swing for 23 here. He doesn't check any defensives, which is just like very nice for me because I'm just able to like keep on the pressure. So swing for 21. I decide to give the power to the other Makani, make the lines big. That's the guard for 40, that's 2 to pass. I got a crit, I give crit and power to that rear guard. So I swing for this is 21, 26, 36. Which I do believe he takes this and just PGs the other line. With his like last PG, I believe. If that's a PG in hand, I'm not sure. He was just counting his shield to see like which one of these he could guard, which one of these he could take. He ends up having to like guard with like 4 cards. Yeah, because like 3 5k shields and a 15. And I swing for the 2 damage, and he elects to take it. Then my Makanis go back to Soul, and that's the end of my turn. He calls Dragon. Then he activates LUQUIER's skill. He puts the last card in his hand, which is LUQUIER, back in hand, calls out another Dragon, calls out the Grade 1 from the ride line, which he can get a Soul Charge, but I believe he elects to not Soul Charge again. Then he's going to activate the Order skill here. He's going to target that Dragon, so he's going to swing for 20. I guard. This card gets a 5k shield, so it's just a 10k guard. And then he swings again. I elect to not no pass, OT to pass his Vanguard because I was at 3. And he does get a heal trigger here. And I do believe I take both attacks if I'm not mistaken. Just to heal block him once again. Or attempt to heal block him. And yeah, I take the last attack. We're going to go ahead, stand and draw, Persona Ride. Then the first thing we're going to do is activate my Vanguard skill, top 3. We're searching for another Makani. Order goes to hand. We do have a Makani there. And then the Swirler goes to Soul. I don't believe I knew I wasn't gonna get to 13 this turn, so I elected to use Makani's on-call skill to like just snipe the interceptor to try and like guarantee a win here. So I swing for 23. He takes it. I swing for 23. He guards, and then I swing for 28, restanding Makani's, giving that one plus 10. And I get a crit and give the 10k to the other Makani, and that is a wrap for this game. Very close game, most definitely, just because these decks are very similar in like their rush down, like create big numbers on turn 3 and turn 4 playstyle. But I don't know. I've been playing against LUQUIER a lot lately, and it feels like the deck isn't bad. It feels like it's missing like a card or two, at least in my opinion. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, guys. We are selling our playmat, our channel mat, the mat you see on the channel right there. That sexy 3 deviants on the couch. We're selling that mat for $25. We do accept Cash App, PayPal. So just message me on Facebook Messenger. If you can't reach me on Messenger, you don't have Messenger, you could also reach me at our email. All the information is going to be in the description down below. Love you guys. Bye.